could do, I guess. And we're live. We are live. On that beautiful note, welcome along everybody to the last episode of Saving Grace, A Shadow on Our Heart. We are D8 Dungeon, a group of Irish tabletop role-playing game enthusiasts who just love telling stories and hanging out and sharing them with people online. And for frustrating the DM. And since I am the only DM so far on this group, I take that as a personal attack. Excellent. Okay, and stream over. If you are joining us this evening for the very, very first time, Saving Grace is a spin off gothic horror stream from our podcast series, Romancing the Dungeon. I almost forgot the name of it there for a split second. I actually did, genuinely. And we are, that thing we've been, that thing that we have been doing for 2 years, and the thing's been nominated for an award. Yeah, I forgot the name of it. Just a smidge. So Saving Grace is a gothic horror. So again, we start every episode with just a bit of a trigger warning that there are probably gorier themes, definitely horror themes, an abundance of violence and abuse, but all done with the consent of the players, but just to make our audience aware that these things do come up and can be a little upsetting. If at any stage you feel like muting or dipping out, that's totally fine. We can appreciate that. The players all are aware of the X, so if something is going too far, we will exit and we will move on. I say last episode, Saving Grace is meant to be standalone adventures, so we will be returning, well, depending on Grace's outcome. Season 2, Resurrecting Grace.
Necromancer type theme.
Yes,
Yeah,
big time.
I can feel it.
Putting Grace back together like Lego.
Franken Grace.
Franken Grace. So before we jump into our adventure, just a little bit, small bit of housekeeping, and introductions and stuff to be done. It's been a little bit a time since our last stream of Saving Grace, and we will do a quick recap. However, I can't really do a recap without introducing you to our players. So we'll go around and we'll go T, Fee, Amber, Eilish. So T, if you want to take us away.
Hi, I'm T and I play Grace. And at the moment I am going through it. I'm going through some things. I probably just want to have a nap and it's a lot. But I'm really looking forward to this episode.
Literal episode. Fee.
Hey guys, I'm Fiona. I play Eludia. I did play Eludia on Saving Grace. I'm probably going to be beginning this episode on Death Save, hence my attire. I'm at my own funeral. Best funeral you're ever going to attend, guys. Have fun. That's me.
Amber.
There will be sandwiches. Egg and cress for everyone.
An off-brand bacon fries. Just what Eludia loved. Amber.
I'm Amber. I am playing Sueris, our poor, wonderful, sad little bird boy, who is now locked in a mushroom cave full of dying people and possible mushroom monsters. So that's exciting for me, and I'm happy about that.
I mean, that just sounds like, an Erasmus break. Yeah. Famous in Cologne. Eilish.
I am playing Six, and she is currently in panther form, wild shape. She en route to find Eludia before she dies, after being told that she's already dead. And fingers crossed she meets Grace along the way.
Why?
So I can kiss her.
I'm gonna be like that meme, like, let me tell you something, let me tell you something.
Oh my god, you're never gonna guess what.
Let me tell you what happened. You want to know what happened?
Let me tell you. Let me tell you. Let
Be
me take a potion real quick.
beyond that, I'm Declan. I'm your dungeon master, and thankfully or rather gratefully, the gang have kind of given a roundup of our last session. We left the group in fairly dire straits. Sueris, having offered aid and healing to 14 infected miners, has found themselves, along with the 14 miners, now buried alive in the Chokehold Cavern, a network of caves that they had just escaped from the day previous, having learned that it is not just infested, but wholly and totally overcome with these terrifying fungal abominations. Eludia, having I think upset Reagan enough for this adventure, was given an opportunity while storming out on a huff to exact revenge on the individual that she believes is responsible for the breakdown of her relationship with her sister or her friend. We're not quite sure what the nature of the relationship is between Eludia and Six, but they are terrifyingly close. Though that bond has taken some beatings and has cracked a little bit, thanks in part to Grace, or as Eludia believes it's been Grace. So while Eludia set off in a huff, she was made aware that Grace would be available in the morning, and that Eludia should take that opportunity to once and for all deal with her nemesis. And I can safely say what was the most terrifying combat session I've ever ran in the 16, 17, 18 years, however long it's been, close to 2 decades, that I've been running TTRPGs. Grace narrowly got the upper hand on Eludia. And Eludia ran, and then fell, and is now crawling for her life as the last few.
I got shot in the back. I think.
Shot in the back. I mean, you'd have been shot in the front if you didn't run like a coward. So.
Exactly. So, does that still on me or still on you?
Yeah.
Fairy friend helping you as well, bitch. Don't get
Oh my god, then abandon me and help you!
Snake.
Let you run. That's what she did.
Yeah.
Dora.
Look.
Won't touch her, but I'll be very mad at her.
Before we jump into this mess, very quick mention that if you are watching and you are a hobbyist, if you are a player or a dungeon master, and you keep notes and track everything, then you should check out the Rook and the Raven for some awesome customizable notebooks. And if you use the code D8 Dungeon at the checkout, you will get a 15% discount on that purchase, and we get a portion of the sale, which helps us create more content and get art and pay artists and do all sorts of weird shenanigans and get stuff made for our bits and pieces. And you get a discount and some awesome goodies. And and those notebooks are totally customizable, so you can, if you're a DM or a player, you can add and really sort of customize it to your own heart's content.
You're gonna it, Declan.
Do I have to do everything now? I have to
I know.
DM.
I've stripped of my mod.
It doesn't work for me either. We might have switched them off for our charity stream, which just happened at the weekend. So they might have been popped off for that. So we can take a look at. I'll take a look at it on the break. And without further delay, verse 8. Cross my heart.
Nope.
Grace, you have you saw Eludia fall, and knowing the amount of blood she's lost, the harm inflicted on her in self-defense. Look, I will be actually acting as Grace's lawyer in the next episode of Saving Grace.
Goodbye.
Saving Grace judging Judith. But as you maneuver away from Eludia and the clearing where you had your fight, where are you going, or what's going through Grace's head right now?
So Grace will probably be like reading a little bit because I've already lost quite a bit of blood myself, and I'm just going to think, okay, I just need to get back. I need to get back to the camp. Then someone can help me. But while I'm also doing that, I'm going to see if I have any sort of like healing potions or anything that I can take.
Okay. Have you anything in your inventory? Anything in your supplies?
No, I do not.
Afraid not. So you are limping away from your encounter with Eludia.
As fast as I can.
Bitch.
Well, to be fair, Eludia, you're lying face down on the snow from your encounter with Grace. So,
We're not talking about me right now. We're talking about Grace.
oh, okay. Sorry. Grace, you clamber up because it's a climb out of here, and the sound of the brook that you were fighting near becomes faint. And just as you reach the crest of this hill, on the other side, you can see the smoke coming from camp and the very large dust cloud up by the mouth of the caves and the network.
I'm going to start heading that way.
To the caves?
I'm going to start heading to the camp
Okay.
because I definitely wouldn't survive going through the caves like this.
Okay. Right, so you're heading. You're going to do your best to try and make it to
To the camp.
the camp. Okay. Sueris. The sound, the energy wave, and the dust that just erupts as the mouth of the chokehold is completely and totally blocked. Several of the... Actually, I'll bloody forfeit. Okay, okay. 3 people who were standing near enough to the entrance have been crushed. You're muted, I think.
Yep, sorry.
Okay.
Okay, great start. Can I just check on them? Or are they dead? Or can I try and stabilize?
Give me a medicine check.
I'm good at that. 13?
You rush over to the first person you see, and it's a half-orc man. You've seen him about camp a couple of times. You've never worked in proximity with him. You've never had to really deal with him in the healing hut either. But his entire left leg is under a mound of rock and dirt. He's unconscious, but you can feel a pulse.
Are the others around then? Like, is the whole group kind of milling about here?
Of all the people kind of set with the other 11, you can see a couple are injured. A few of them are kind of like trying to wipe dirt and dust out of their eyes. People are coughing and hacking, and you're not quite sure if that's the dust or the infection.
Okay. I just go, is anybody well enough to help me move these rocks, and ask them to help me free him and the others if they're not dead?
Why would they do that? Why we're not sick, Suarez. You and a few people kind of move to start like shifting some of the rock and dirt off the half orc.
Fear is an incredibly dangerous weapon, and they're as afraid as any of us. That doesn't make it okay, but look, this is where we are. This is the situation we have to deal with. So I just need everybody to stick with me so we can get through it. First, we need to help those who've just been hurt by the blast.
Give me a persuasion roll with advantage.
Ooh, yay. Oh, please. 8.
With advantage.
Yeah.
Okie dokie. A few of them kind of, they look at you and then they kind of look back at each other. You mentioned fear, Suarez, being an intoxicating force, or something that can drive people to do things that they may not normally do. You recognize the same thing here on the faces and brows of the 11 that are trapped inside. Give me a perception check.
Um, 16. I don't want to perceive that.
At first it sounded like just the rocks settling, the earth quietening. But there's a wet clicking sound coming from deep beyond the cave. And there's an uncertainty, there's a fear in you as you see people trying to pull rock and debris from the half orc in front of you. You don't see sign of the other two. They seem to have been completely crushed. It is just this man. You look over your shoulder and a dozen purple eyes look up from the dark below.
That's so many eyes.
And a clicking gets louder. Six. Give me a perception check, please. In panther form.
So I get advantage on them if they rely on smell. Does it rely on smell?
I mean, you know what Eludia smells like.
Yes, I do.
What do I smell like, 6?
Desperation.
Daisies and desperation. I will take that.
By Gloop.
That's a 19.
Oh, baby.
You pick up on the at first faint smell of Eludia's scent. The sweat, the sort of sickly sweet perfume that she wears, that even you six, you kind of had to acclimatize to it. She does it on purpose. She does it because people don't like it. She doesn't wear it because she likes it. She wears it because other people are bothered by it. It's there in very, very faint little moments that you can just kind of pick up on. It's where her hand briefly glanced the bark of a tree. It's where she might have leant against the mossy covered side of a rock. But as you continue moving through the snow, and it crunches beneath your feet because it has been falling since last night and continues to fall, one scent above all else becomes very apparent as you reach the base of a climb. Over the hill and beyond, you can smell Eludia's blood. It is warm, it is fresh, and there is so much of it.
She's gonna immediately quicken her pace. Is it like a mountain that I'd have to revert back to human form?
No, you could. It's this steep hill that sort of kind of the camp is built under, kind of for shelter from the extreme weathers. And climbing up over it isn't, if you were to make an escape or a retreat like the goblins would have been doing the raids from the goblin parties, it makes retreating up here quite difficult. There's plenty of, brambles and trees and rocks to kind of, lever yourself onto and kind of climb up. It's just a climb.
Okay. Yeah, so she's just immediately gonna head in that direction of where the blood is strongest.
Okay. As you, and I'm assuming quite quickly, as you race as fast as your legs can carry you, and even in this form, even as a panther, Six, you find your claws actually scratching and scraping into the dirt and the frozen mud beneath, scrambling and scratching at trunks. Your muscles ache from how quickly, how deftly you climb this side of the hill. As you reach the top, staring down below you and all around you, you have a view of the mountain range beyond. You can see the cliff where the cave network begins and the various mouths, one now sealed. You see the camp behind you and people milling about. You see smoke pluming from several of the smaller huts and a large fire in the middle. Faintly in the distance you can hear voices. It's mostly the smells. And up here you have everything. It's a little... Intoxicating is not the right word. It's a little overbearing almost. It's a bombardment of your sense of smell. Because while Eludia's blood is the thing that you have picked up on, it's the anchor that has fixed you, there's something else mixed with it. There's other blood.
Do I recognize it? Or, is it familiar?
Give me a nature check just to see if you can discern it. Or, yeah, I think nature probably more than medicine because you were in panther form. Dr. Panther.
Dr. Panther.
Medicine Panther.
I would watch that show. Dr. Quinn, Medicine Panther.
It was a 9. So Medicine Panther will have to come a different time.
Okay. You're not certain. again, it's as much as it's there and you can pick up on it, nothing else has your attention except this. Eludia.
No.
Death saving throw, please.
With the lucky dice from last time that took chunks out of Grace.
Come on, chunks.
17, baby.
Nice.
Okay.
I hate those dice so much. If I ever get my hands on them.
6, you have a strong sense up here of the direction with where Eludia is, with the amount of blood that has collected and pooled around her. You know exactly where this concentration is coming from.
So yeah, she's like laser focused on getting there, because she'd probably know that if she's lost that much blood, she can't be doing too great.
You, with no hesitation, you barrel down the hill. You slip your claws. You don't care. It's not. You don't care about being safe. You just care about getting there as quickly as you possibly can. And as you run, 6, you can't help but remember the woods where you found Eludia. And the memory just becomes... It becomes almost real. And you can see her in front of you. You can see her... Her fingers, her hands, her wrists, her right hand right up to the elbow are just soaked in blood. Her dress is stained in blood. And she's laughing and she's giggling. And she seems to be holding parts of that deer, and she's pretending to mock eat it, and there's something about her. A wildness, a fierceness, a chaos. You are completely and totally drawn to it. And as the memory fades, you find yourself standing less than 10 feet away from Eludia's body. She is completely unmoving.
Back. Okay, she is going to immediately return to normal humanoid form and cast Spare the Dying.
Yep.
Oh.
Did you forget I had that?
Nope.
Oh no, he's going to do something awful.
You reach out 6, tears burning behind your eyes, and you feel that pain. It's that hard lump in your throat that if you swallow, the tears are going to come, and it feels as if your throat is going to rip itself open. You feel your lungs burning as the magic just conjures up around you. And you go to lay a hand as you reach out to Eludia, and as the magic draws up around you, you can feel the whisper of a pulse, the whisper of life that still will not quite inside her. And inside you, there is nothing but hope. Eludia, death saving throw, please.
Oh, rude.
Do I use the same dice?
You can use the same dice if you wish.
Yeah. Wish I didn't. Oh, I did! It's a 19. I thought it was a 9.
No.
No.
You can, it's that half waking slumber. Everything is dark, but you can feel something. You can feel something just to your left, Eludia, an incredibly familiar presence, and as you struggle to open your eyes, to pull the breath into your lungs to make a sound, you feel your whole body just giving away. You can feel the pulse in your heart softening, quietening, and weakening. But you know instinctively, to your left, Six is standing there.
Can I see anything or no?
It's like you're looking at everything through a Gaussian blur, and that Gaussian blur is draped in shadows and darkness. It's very difficult. It's more than just seeing her. It's knowing her and knowing who she is and what she is. That you're able to recognize her.
I can't move. If I try and move, what happens? Is she? I mean, I'm guessing if I got hit in the fucking back, thanks, Grace. I'm pretty much on my face, so her instinct would be to push herself up onto her knees, even.
Give me a Constitution saving throw.
Eek, not my strong suit. 15.
Excuse me. You press your hands into the snow with all that remains in your body of strength. And where your hands press, they sink, and thick black sludge, swamp-like water just bubbles around them, and you feel your hands plunging into bog, and you splash forward.
She would... I know you said her pulse was softening, but that's just going to make her heart rate increase tenfold. Like, there's only one thing in this world that scares Eludia, and that is death. She came close once, and she never wanted to feel like that again, and she thought she was there, and then she sensed Six was there, and she had a spark of hope. And then when she went to join her friend, it was snatched away again, so she's terrified.
You continue to sink. Your whole body, the armor, clothes, everything is soaked, filling with this. You can feel the silt and the debris, the rotting, twisting vines of this bog and swamp just sort of reach out to half touch you. Almost as if it was living, almost as if it was knew you were there. And your lungs begin to burn as air begins to run out.
Every move that Eludia makes is calculated, always. It's precise as much as it can be. She knows people are watching her, even the ones that she's killing, and she wants to make an impression. But at this point in time, I think she's just going to go into overdrive. She is going to be clawing her way, trying to get away from this swamp, calling out for Six. Anything that will save her. Is there like a branch, a root, something that she can grab?
You hear Six's laughter. You hear it echo as you think of her. You hear it echo inside your mind. You hear it echo here in this darkness, here in this tomb that you find yourself in. And as you struggle to reach out, your hand just sort of drifting and gliding and pushing through this murky veil, your eyes burning, you see a branch. And as you reach out for it, a gnarled, twisted hand takes yours where the branch was. Eludia.
Where's 6?
Sweet Eludia.
Who are you?
I am a chance at salvation. I am an opportunity for vengeance.
She will snatch your hand away, but at the same time...
Give me a strength saving throw with disadvantage.
At disadvantage! Lucia, you fool! Oh, 11.
You immediate it's that immediate jerk reaction of oh god no, or oh gods no, and as you go to pull, this creature, this hand, it doesn't let go. It holds you firm.
Am I still sinking or no?
You've kind of caught in suspension here. Eludia. I am all that stands between you and nothing. Yes.
She'll gasp at that. And try and pull her hand away again. Not forcefully, because she knows it's probably not going to work, but it's her instinct.
As you kind of struggle against her a little bit, her hand lets go of yours. And she wasn't holding your hand embracefully. She was literally holding your hand. And you could feel the kind of the wet slip of her skin, the scratch of her nails. As you pull back, you find yourself standing in a bleak, dark quagmire. The vision all around you is completely obfuscated by swirling grey and yellow mists. You can hear the sound of thick, bubbling liquid, and the stench is unbearable.
She's going to just... Her hands are going to go up. She's going to start walking backwards. No. This isn't it. This isn't how it ends. I'm not ready to go yet.
Oh, Eludia. And as you step back, you hear the surging of water behind you, and rising out of it, you see the malformed figure of a woman draped in a rotting grey and white dress, her face completely and totally covered, bar her mouth, and the rotten black and purple lips and the gnarls of teeth that live inside bleed black ichor. A veil is melted to her scalp where straggles of gnarled hair barely hang on. Her skin is soaked and stained a twisted black, green, and grey. Her hands are elongated, and razor-long nails just sort of crack and splinter in pieces. Beneath them, muck and insects twist and fall. She reaches down for the dress that clings to her body, rolls it up slightly, and clambers up onto the dirt beside you.
Eludia is going to instinctively reach for the dagger on her leg and take it out.
There's nothing there.
There's nothing. My weapons are all gone. I don't have my bow. There's nothing.
You have nothing.
Again, this will freak her out. She cannot fight without her weapons. She's not good with her hands. So she again her pace is going to quicken. She doesn't want to turn her back to this creature because she's never seen anything. She can't even comprehend what she's looking at. But she knows this thing is dangerous. She knows enough about prey and predators that this thing is dangerous. So she's not turning her back on it. But she's going to quicken her pace as much as she can while keeping steady and be backing away, frantically looking, seeing is there any way out, any place to hide, any cover at all.
You step back away from her and turn and go to move. And as you rush and scramble through the fog, your foot finding deep puddles and you splash and kind of half tumble over yourself. No matter where you turn here, no matter where you look, Eludia, this woman in grey is always in the corner of your eye.
She's going to, whenever she's been in trouble, whenever she feared for her life in the past, the first person she would trust to get her out of that is herself. The only other person she would trust to help her is Six. So she's just going to scream Six's name.
There's no response.
I don't hear anything.
Nothing.
I hate playing a coward. At this stage, she's just going to drop to her knees and sob.
Your crying echoes around the swamp, and you can hear them. It's as if there's a version of you or another part of you out there somewhere else that is mimicking you. You become very, very aware, Eludia, of the complete and total sense of helplessness that you feel right now. It's almost amplified. And just when you think you'll hear nothing but your own cries from here until the end of everything, you hear slow footsteps. The sound of something heavy and wet dragging against root and weed and muck behind you. And then a twisted, bony hand places itself on your shoulder, and you feel the skin slip in the same way you've seen bloated and drowned bodies slip. And the hand squeezes your shoulder reassuringly. There. Sweet little Eludia. This does not have to be your fate. I can save you.
As much as she's repulsed, her body will tense. I'm listening.
I can give you power beyond all that you've ever imagined, little one. The strength to crush your enemies, torment your foes, and allow you the freedom to truly be who you are. Because I know who you are, Eludia. And what's more, I know what you are destined to become.
She's terrified, but she's got that humor. So she's gonna not fully turn around to face her, but just turn her head slightly and say, "Do enlighten me."
Enlightenment, Eludia, is for fools. I can show you. And the hand kind of glides itself in front of you. And it turns over palm side up. And you start to see mist and fog coalesce, swirling. And they take shapes. And you see yourself. You are famous. You are feared. You are worshipped for the pain, torment, and suffering you inflict on hundreds of thousands of people. And the fog just erupts into flame and nothing.
She would have leaned forward without even realizing, being reaching for this vision in front of her. It's to go from embracing the fact that you're about to die to be offered this on a platter in front of you. It's everything she would want and more. It's everything she's ever wanted and more. Her heart feels like it's going to burst out of her chest, and that tiny spark of hope and desire is back.
As this vanishes in front of you, you see another vision, illusion, mirage. You're not certain, but it's beyond the woman's hand. It's further into the swamp. And you see two young girls. They're laughing. And you know that one of them is you, and that the other is Six. And where they both are, and they're made of fog and mist, you start to see them grow and change. And as they do, in both of them, you see a shifting slightly. The light changes ever so slightly. The light in you, Eludia, the light in your heart dims until it is all but gone. The light in Six, the light in her heart, is brighter than a candle. And then that melts into the distance. The twinkling of that light, the only thing. And then that too is swallowed.
she would have forgotten about Six for a brief moment after that offer was made. And then seeing her in the vision before her, her breath will catch. Six, I'm not doing without her. I need her.
Eludia, you are every much as part of your sister as she is of you. And I can promise you that wherever you go, she will always be a part of you. And you just hear a wheezed breath just rattle out of her chest.
Actually, she's laughing. Is that what I'm getting?
No, it's an uncomfortable truth.
Can I insight check this bitch?
You may indeed.
Thanks. Come on, baby. My insight's really good. Yay, 19.
There is one feeling, and one feeling only, that you are able to discern from this creature, from this woman. A complete and total fixation on vengeance.
She will, when she senses that, first the image of Grace comes into her mind, because that's who she's hated most recently a lot. Grace has annoyed her before she killed her. Grace has annoyed her every step of the way. She's irritated her, she's picked at her. Everything Grace has done, the way she breathes, the way she moves, has just enraged Eludia. Up until the moment when they were fighting and she thought she had the upper hand, she didn't. But thinking about that fight and who put her up to it, these thoughts of vengeance slowly change to the puppet master, Reagan, the one who told her to fight Grace, the one who told her she could beat Grace, the one who turned Six against her. And with all those thoughts of vengeance, Eludia just gets this image in her head of pressing Reagan into the muck and holding her dagger right where her heart is and pushing it in so slowly so that she can see the life leaving her eyes. And she laughs. That can be mine.
As you lose yourself in those feelings, in that moment, in that desire, Eludia, you hadn't noticed, but the figure had knelt down and wrapped her arms around you, and her right hand is wrapped around your waist. The other hand that she had gripped your shoulder with is now over your chest and up along your neck, and she is pulling you into her. She's pulling, like, she is embracing you, and she is warm and cold and wet and putrid. You can smell the decay from her breath. You can feel her body, the bones, like they've been dipped in acid and become completely and totally malleable. you feel her whole body squelch,
Oh,
and you feel the liquid ooze and drip down your arm along your back. That, Eludia, is why I believe you are destined. You remind me so much of myself.
great. Oh fuck. I think the smells in particular that you described up this close in Eludia's face are going to kind of break her away from her dreams of revenge against Reagan a little bit. And she's going to realize that this creature has just completely surrounded her, embraced her. Oh, she's used to death. She's used to things dying. This is something altogether different and terrifying, and her brain cannot comprehend it. And she looks into her eyes, fresh from the thought of the fight that just ended her life and who put her up to it, and said, well, there's always a price, isn't there?
There is, Eludia. I require a heart.
Oh, I have one just in mind. I'm sure you'll love it. Nearly got it that time too.
I do not need you to tell me whose heart I want. I desire your heart, Eludia.
That's it. I'm currently on death's door. You think I deny you that? You are a fool.
And a hand reaches up and takes you by the jaw and twists your head uncomfortably, and you feel the nails jag and pierce the skin of your cheek, almost to the point that they're going to rip through. It's like she's trying to hold your jaw firm. I am not a fool. I do have...
laugh will catch in her throat.
I have no need for that rotten flesh organ that sits like a carcass behind your ribs. Eludia, you gave your heart away bit by bit, piece by piece. I simply need you to reclaim it and give it back to me.
I don't want a metagame. Can Eludia put together what she witnessed, the vision of her heart dimming and Six's heart brightening, and then this?
Yep.
And kind of...
I wouldn't even consider it metagaming, because you've had nothing else but this to remunerate on.
And do the maths. You're talking about her, aren't you? She's not even smiling anymore. It's 6 you want, isn't it? Answer me.
Yes.
Oh my god. It's gone so dark as well. Oh my god, my heart.
That's me. I'm able to control the lights around your house.
You're coming for me. I'm really freaked out.
I'm behind the sofa.
Fuck. Oh, that rage is Eludia, because she was ready to offer up whatever this bitch wanted for another chance at life. Whatever she wanted, she was fucking ready. She was ready to give up her own soul to this creature. But then she wants. She'll look down. She's going to try and ignore the hand clawing at her. And God, she's never had this many highs and lows in the space of a fucking half an hour before in her life. She's gone from being elated. She's gone from having hope that what she was shown, those dreams, everything could have been hers. And it feels like it's been snatched away from her. And a tear's going to run down her cheek. What will happen to her?
She will die. You will live. But you will carry her wherever you go.
You nearly had me, you know. I can't. I won't. And she's going to try and break free. And she's so... The rage is gone. All she can feel now is like this deep and awful sadness eating away at her, because she doesn't want to die. But she's been given an impossible choice.
I can't force you, Eludia. As much as I see a waste of potential, it must be your choice to make.
Go. Go now.
I leave, Eludia. And as you drift and decay in the void for eternity, I'll leave you with this little detail. I will have Six's heart.
Bitch, don't.
And I'll have Grace take it from her. I think that might be a good place to take a break.
Oh, I gotta turn on some lights. I'm gonna just walk off my anger. I hate you. I fucking hate you, Declan. Oh, wow. Oh, take Suarez. Take Grace. Take them all. You just leave her alone, you bitch.
We'll be back in a minute. Fiona may not have a couch by the time we come back.
So angry.
We'll be back.
So angry.
We're taking a quick break. As a reminder, grab a drink, go for a stretch. Yeah. See you in a bit.
what? You can't convey these wishes to 6.
And we are back. It automatically cuts back.
Amazing.
There's
I have the lights on. I'm feeling better.
She's alive.
I'm still here. Eludia might not be. I am. You're all so lucky.
okay. Rightio. Yeah. And this is why you're done. Okay. Nope, that's the wrong screen. And if I went to the right one, there's just so many things to operate. It's funsies. If you are just joining us, Eludia has made her decision when proffered with the offer for everything that she's ever desired. She
Stop it.
said no, and
What an idiot.
yeah, and she refused to offer her sister's heart in payment. And with that, 6, you reach out to put a hand on Eludia. And where you touch, she is dangerously cold. And the magic that you had drawn up around you rots and dies.
Oh no. So like, is she evidently gone now? Like,
You can still feel a tremor of a pulse. And as you instinctively go to conjure magic again, to try again, you can hear a faint breath coming from Eludia. And you see her eyes are open.
Can I see her?
Yes, Eludia, you can just see 6.
Oh, fuck.
oh. She's gonna just drop to her knees.
Behind her, Eludia,
No.
you see the Great Lady.
Oh, there she is.
There, she's right there. I think she's cleaning her butt.
Eludia can obviously sense, like, this is it.
Mhm.
Very weak. Okay. She's going to do everything in her power to just draw all of her attention away from that weapon of a creature.
Oh.
She's got tunnel vision on 6 right now. And she's going to reach a hand up to 6. I obviously don't think she's going to have the strength to pull her to her, but she's going to, like, just grasp at her top, making eye contact with her. She offered me it all, 6. She offered me everything. Everything. All I wanted and more. Everything and all she wanted. She just wanted you.
What do you mean? Who offered you?
It doesn't matter. She'll have, to her slight embarrassment, started to cry slightly. And she's going to look up at you and smile and just say, I did that for you. You know what
Why?
I like? I want something in return. Reagan first. Then Grace. Be careful around her, 6. And Reagan, she took Deacon's wings. She did this to me. Grace delivered the killing blow. Reagan's the one in charge.
Eludia. She's like grinning and gritting her teeth, but like trying not to cry. She's just like, You don't get to leave me here with these boring assholes.
I don't want to go, Six. But
You're here, you're fine, just stay.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry for every time I left you behind and every time I shouted.
Forget.
And every time I thought you weren't good enough. You are. I love you.
I love you too, Ludi.
Please don't leave me here.
I won't. I'm here. They'll both pay for this.
Would I have the strength to... Oh my god, the cat's in the background. I'm actually like, I'm in tears right now, but that was so funny.
Oh god, fuck you, Declan.
I literally have done nothing.
Control your animals, not us.
You're stealing our thunder.
Would I have the strength to lift my dagger out and like handle first to...
Give me a final death saving throw.
Oh baby, come on, you've done so well for me. One more time. Fuck, yes. 19.
6. You see Eludia struggle. Her hand scraping along the snow on the grass, reaching for the belt on her hip. Her hands trembling weakly. They fumble and fidget around a clasp. And she pulls free a short, curved blade with 4 jagged, barbed teeth at the end. It was the very first thing Eludia ever bought with payment from your first job. She had it customized. The teeth at the end saw and hook as she rends her enemies open. And as she lifts her hand up towards you, it falls flat on the ground. And you see the light in Eludia Cinderella's eyes extinguish.
No, my baby.
Eludia, you see 6. But drawing closer is the twisted visage of the Grey Lady. And everything goes dark. And you find yourself on the moors. Echoes and whispers of 6. Of Grace. Screams, terrible, terrifying screams. And no matter how far you run, no matter how hard you claw and climb, you find nothing. And no one.
Can I retcon? Excuse me. Miss Grey Lady.
I think I found the contract. It's still good.
You're so evil. I love my little twisted bit. God.
Before we continue on, is everybody okay? Eludia and 6 first and foremost, but Sueris and Grace, is everybody okay? Everyone is.
Yeah. I'm glad that 2 very twisted and fucked up characters elicited this much emotion from everyone. So that's what I'm taking from all of this and ignoring how upsetting it was.
Honestly, I actually want to just cry. That was so. Oh my god, that was just so upsetting. I need to call my cousin.
You also murder people together? Is that your thing?
Yes.
We got her, guys. We got her.
This was a whole sting operation to get tea.
Eilish, I love you.
I love you too. Sorry for crying on stream again.
English oppression.
Not at all. But is everyone okay to proceed? Do you want to take a quick breather or anything?
No, go.
Go. Kill.
Okay.
Kill them all.
Eilish, I will add the Rose's teeth to your equipment or inventory.
I want lilies at the funeral. I want half naked people everywhere.
I'm just gonna kick her down the hill and hope she lands.
At the wolves, however.
I'm gonna walk straight into a wolf and eat her.
Ugh.
She's actually a pretty good dog.
Too far.
Yeah, because it was too accurate. Yeah, 6. You see Eludia die.
She's going to let out one very loud, very angry roar, for want of a better word, and then just like get rid of the tears and I don't know, because I don't want to leave her body there, but I also am absolutely enraged and just want to murder Reagan like immediately. So she will do a roux on it, and just get some flowers from around and put them around her for now.
Give me a nature check.
Yeah. There's no flowers. Twigs for all.
No, it's
19.
just a bunch of piss. It's just a bunch of pissy bells.
Wait. 21.
Okay.
Oh, she's so gorgeous.
You find lilies.
There's wild lilies growing by the side of the hill.
Along the banks of the brook, not too far away from where Eludia lies, 6, you do see several bushes and bushels of prism drops, slightly blue and white ombre flowers that hang like little bells. Quite a few haven't opened yet. They're still the buds they're still in bud form, but there hasn't been a cold enough winter to make them open just yet. But there are some that have opened early or prematurely. And as you spend a bit of time gathering and collecting, Grace, you overheard that roar. That almost primal scream from behind you as you start to make your way downhill towards the camp. 6, when you've enough gathered and you've some leaves to sort of help dress Eludia's grave, when you turn back, there's a figure there. There's a woman dressed all in grey, hunched down over the body of Eludia.
She's gonna charge at her. Get away from her.
The woman stands. Give me a wisdom saving throw, 6.
Oh, no. That's a net one.
You rear to charge, screaming, "Get away from her!" And as you go to take that first running step, this woman has completely stood up now, and you see her. It looks like rags. It looks like delicate lace and silk that has been eaten and rotten, drowned, and just left to soak into the ramshackled frame of this twisted creature. And a hand just lifts and extends a gaunt, jagged finger at you. Your sister saved you.
She's gonna point the dagger at her and say, "You did this to her."
No.
Yes, you did. I should have been able to save her. You did this.
With what? And she holds her hands up, and the slip of fabric that is wrapped around her just falls away like a wet blanket, and you just see broken bone where her arm should be.
I don't know. You can appear out of thin air.
Your sister was foolish.
What do you want?
I want you to deliver something for me.
Why would I do anything to help you?
Because the last thing I told your sister before she died was that I would have your heart. Deliver for me, and you can consider it a courtesy that I allow you to breathe.
Deliver what?
To my daughter Reagan. And she reaches down into the gown and she pulls out a letter, just an envelope. This. To my daughter Grace. It's a long, slender-necked bottle with a heavy glass-bottomed belly. And there's just a glistening, almost pearlescent black liquid swirling inside.
Why would I go anywhere near Grace? Eludia told me that you have asked her to kill me.
Grace is on a leash.
It's not a very tight one.
Deliver these, and you'll live for a while.
They have to pay for what they did to my sister.
You may try.
I won't fail.
You will. 6. You will fail. And you will die.
We'll see.
I have.
She kind of tilts her head like a dog. And is like, what?
Now, be a good little girl. Deliver them.
They'll get them. Eventually.
I care not what happens to Reagan at this point. If you are hell-bent on joining your worthless sister in the void, 6,
Her grip tightens on the dagger.
then you are more than welcome. Have at it. I can even tell you where she's going.
Where?
Not for free.
I'm already delivering your fucking letter. What else do you want?
Goodbye, 6. The next time I say your name, it will be given to Grace. And she crouches down once more over Eludia's body, her hands just barely glancing over it. And she vanishes. And so does Eludia's body.
What the fuck?
Hold on, I'm muted. I'm so angry. What? What the fuck, Declan?
My beautiful
Make eye
Grace!
contact with me. Don't put your head down. Look at me. Oh, lads. Oh, the rage I'm feeling tonight.
My favorite thing is how you all think it's a great idea to really tick off the Grey Lady. Like,
Listen,
Did she do that because I called her a fool?
look at me, look at me. Eludia, look at me. Oh, damn it,
Ben,
Ben.
you missed us crying. Okay. Now that I am aware it was Grace who delivered the killing blow, I can assume it's her blood I smell.
Mm-hmm.
Can I follow that scent?
Give me a perception check. Because you're not in panther form anymore.
Fuck.
Yeah, I was like, Was all of this happening while you were back?
All of this exposition as a panther.
Collecting flowers, sassing the grey lady.
Oh, God.
Bad kitty, bad.
15. It's not too bad. It's not too bad, Declan.
Here, Declan, it's not
Yes,
too bad.
you should all now preface your roles based on how well you did with a, I think that was okay, Declan.
That's, Eilish, that's what I said for this whole session, and look at me.
Yeah, look at her now. I have her body.
No, don't touch my body.
They're gonna make you do things.
Oh, jeez, your malleable bones.
My marshmallow malleable bones. My jelly bones. Them bones need actual bones because they're frapped.
That's why I say to you on the break, like, just give her a fucking yop. or something. Yeah.
Saving Grace, now sponsored by Yop.
Christ.
Anyway, sorry. I think we all need those little moments of utter silliness to cope with highly stressful situations.
Whatever this is. Yeah, so she's just going to take off in a sprint.
You catch the faint scent of Grace's blood. It is it's further south, but it has gone back up over the hill, and where you rush to immediately, you do see the mouth a mouth of like a small little cave or a hole in the hillside here, and there's a lot of blood here. A lot of the area seems to have been damaged or scorched, and heading back up the hill from here, you can see small blood droplets heading back up the hill. And from here you take off in a sprint. Sueris.
No, that's fine. You can keep doing what you're doing.
Are you okay? No, like, all jokes aside, are you okay?
Me?
No, we're past you. I'm on the Sueris screen now.
Oh, yeah.
Ouch, you just fell with purple eyes in front
I
of
mean,
me.
I'm currently alive, so I'm fine.
Okay.
I'll find out.
Oh,
Okay, rub it in, bitch.
Don't worry, I'll be joining you here in a second, alright?
Oh, we'll have so much fun in the afterlife together.
Apologies.
Somewhere nice.
I never pulled in subs, so I'm going to do that now very quickly. So bear with me for 2 seconds. I am hot garbage at running OBS.
You're doing
Nobody
great,
say
buddy.
anything important.
or nobody say I think to take Declan off right now.
Oh, I'm dead. You can't,
Declan,
you
you're
can't
so
harm me
handsome.
anymore.
Oh, you think that?
You're so handsome and skinny.
Oh, there was a waft of sarcasm off that that I am not best pleased by.
Six is next. Six is next.
Google go. Okay. And if everybody else just in the background, if you don't mind, because we are on a 2-person screen, if you don't mind muting, you can still use chat to.
Never.
Or I can just manually mute you all anyway.
He's just haunting the group in the cave.
Yeah.
Hello, Jack. I'm still here.
I think we're good now. Sueris, you looking over your shoulder, you see a dozen glowing purple eyes, and the echoing of clicks in the back, getting louder up the passageway. There's a groan of agony as the group have managed to free the injured man.
None of them seem to have noticed it.
They'd been kind of preoccupied with the task you'd given them. It was a nifty little distraction, but I'm giving you kind of a chance to react or decide what your course is before they do effectively.
Okay. Can I kind of do two things at once? Can I?
I mean, it flies in the face of Gaiax, but sure, knock yourself out.
Fuck him anyway. Well, okay, so essentially what I want to do is, like, in my head, say a little prayer to Finn, like, for, I guess, guidance. Like, is this it? Do I sacrifice myself? Is this the end? Or, like, you know, am I gonna be okay? And at the same time, I just want to... I want to... Yeah, I just want to sort of put myself a little ways ahead of the group. Not down the cave, but just distance myself from them a little bit.
Okay. As you go further down the cave, give me a... I suppose, firstly, what does that prayer to Finn sound like? What is it about?
So it's just, you know, we sing his praises for a second, and then essentially, you know, hey, happy to serve. I understand my place and what's expected of me, and while I don't fear death, I also don't encourage stupid death. And I'm in a bit of a situation where I could use some guidance. Is this where I should embrace death, or should I fight to get through it?
Give me a roll of a d20. And you can add your level in Paladin.
Okay. 16?
As you stare down the cavern at the eyes growing larger and closer, you do whisper a prayer to yourself. It's not even... It's a quiet whisper inside your own thoughts. And you transplant yourself to that monastery. It's a way you have of stilling yourself. It's the removing yourself from any situation where your emotions, the events happening around you, the people happening around you, their energy, their emotions can sort of muddle your understanding of everything. As you beseech Finn and you look for anything to tie yourself to anchor yourself, to steady yourself, you remember the reasons you went to the Temple of Finn, the reasons you were sent there. And you remember who you were following those weeks and months, years in study, in meditation, in prayer. And as you ponder what's about to happen, or what's needed from you, you remember the first time you confronted a death that wasn't yours. A patient, an elderly gentleman who'd been certain several times that his time was definitely now. That he could even hear Finn's call. And just like that, he came in, he got better, he went home. And he had this unsort of nerving belief in his death, that you had learned that this is just another part of what it means to be, to exist, that we come into life and we leave life. And for some, that is death, that is an end, that is abrupt. For others, it is merely a passage, a voyage into another space, another concept of being. And for many more, it's a return. It's a cycle of life and death. It hadn't really brought you any comfort. Not until you saw this old halfling man literally wander up to the temple every couple of weeks, rather excitedly, that today's definitely the day. 'Tis the night. 'Tis definitely tonight that I'm gone. I can feel it in my bones. And a couple of weeks had gone by, and you hadn't thought of him. You hadn't seen him. And when you asked an elder, they told you that he had passed at home in his bed. The bedroom that he was born in the pub he had grown up in, he had inherited, taken over, he had his own family in. And he had been so certain of when it was his time. He seemed happy in it. But he wasn't ready when it finally came. And that was a click for Sueris. We all expect death. But we only die when we stop living. Stop being a part of our family, of our society, of this world. When we remove ourselves from it. You don't get a response from Finn. You don't get divine wisdom or influence. There isn't a choir of angels beckoning the celestial whale god of death to you here in the chokehold at the edge of Galeshire, deep within the mountains of the Giant's Fingers. But you don't feel ready. And there is time to die. And as you reach for your halberd and you take those first few steps forward down the cavern, your hands grip the cold, metallic, weighted handle. And it just isn't fucking now. Give me an initiative roll, Sueris.
17.
Okay. Give me 2 seconds now. 17. Okay, you get to go first as you see these horrific creatures, rotting corpses made living by terrifying, oozing fungal growths that seem to string and web the body like nerves, like muscle, binding a skeleton together. And elongated, white, dripping tentacles just sort of hang loosely from gashes in the neck and the mouth. And 4 of these creatures just... 3 rush forward, 1 falls from the ceiling. Actually, well, I said it. So he's gonna make a dex save to see if he doesn't hurt himself on the way down.
Please.
No, he does. That's a 15. So no, he
Okay.
does. He lands. He also has marshmallow like bones. It's a thing now. Yeah, there's 4 of them directly in front of you. You hear gasps of fear and shock and panic from behind you.
Okay. How far are they from me?
They're about 10 feet.
Okay, so I'm going to take my mace off my belt and throw it behind me at the group. Which I assume is the action. And I'm just going to shout, if you're able to fight, ready yourself.
Okay. No,
Can I do that?
because
Okay.
I actually appreciate that. That is...
Okay.
I, the villager slash miner that you're
Yeah.
handing a mace to, really appreciates that. As you say this,
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna make a roll for it. You hear a scuffle of boot against stone behind you, and a hand reach and grab for the mace. And standing next to you, you see a young Earth Ganassi woman, looking a little exhausted, a hell of a lot terrified. But she just gives you the nod. And I have to get some stats for...
Sorry.
No, you're fine. I'm going to give you that as a free action just because... And I'm going to give you inspiration as well because... God damn it.
Sorry for
I should stop giving you things.
Oh, I have inspiration. God damn it.
Oh, well, it doesn't stack. Sorry about it.
Okay, well, if that's a free action, then can I cast heroism on the Ganassi?
You may. God damn it. Mm-hmm.
So a willing creature, I hope she's willing, that you touch is imbued with bravery. Until the spell ends, she is immune to being frightened. She gains temporary hit points equal to my spell casting ability modifier, which is 1. But look, every little bit helps.
Mhm.
But yeah, and they go away when... Oh, you know what? No, I can't cast a level 2. Okay, so she gets 1 extra hit point, and she cannot be frightened.
Okay. Bear with me because I am just very quickly pulling up
Yep.
stats. You're lucky because she was the guard in her group as well, so she has a little bit of formal training, but had no weapons going into this, given that you were, promptly just eschewed in.
Thing I always carry too.
Boop, 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 boop. Yeah, okay. You, as she takes the mace, your hand just kind of glances off her, Sueris, as you cast heroism, and where she was trembling and struggling with the weight of the mace for a moment, you see her kind of just take a kind of a steadying breath. If we're going to die, then we're going to do it at least fighting. And she swings the mace up over her shoulder. And I'm going to... Okay. Okay, that's an 18 plus 2. That's 20. A dirty 20 for her. Okay. I have to bring her in. So we're going to say her taking the mace and stuff and getting ready was her action this round, just because I didn't think he'd pull her in. But that's totally cool. Bonus action.
No.
Okay. Just gonna make note of her stats very quickly. Okay, perfect. On this, you just you see her kind of affirm, but she gives you kind of a half a panicked smile, and then she turns to look back at the 4 creatures in front of you. 2 are going to go for her, 2 are going to go for you, Suaris. So with that, I'll roll for you first. That is an 11 to hit.
No.
Or a 6 to hit. No. Okay.
No.
So okay. And that is an 8 to hit for her. Or a 22 to hit. Okay. No. So that's definitely going to hit. And D4 plus... And I should be rolling my damage. I always give out to you guys for not doing that. But 5. Oof. Suaris, as you brace yourself, you... and you're... Correct me if I'm wrong, you're using your halberd at this moment.
Yeah.
You bring it up to deflect the 2 large mangled claws from these molder creatures, and where you do, they grab and they latch on, and you're actually able to shuck them back. She swings with the mace and bats one away just as easily as you do, but when she turns, the creature that had fallen from the ceiling just lunges at her and buries its claws deep into her shoulder and rips, and there's a howling cry of pain. And with that, you hear cries coming from behind you, and people are now clawing desperately at the rock face to get out. She takes 10 points of damage.
Oh.
Yep. She's not looking... Yeah, it's a very, very deep wound. It is her action.
So she actually gets 1 extra hit point at the start of every turn she takes.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you for that. I need
Please
them.
live.
I'll try. Once we're guaranteed an extra. Oh, okay, nifty. Okay, so she has martial advantage because you are an ally. So she's going to get to do an extra 2d6 damage because you were next to her. So she is going right for the one that smacked her. So that is a +4. Okay, that's 22 to hit. I can guarantee you that hits. I guarantee you because I'm the DM and I get to make this stuff up. Okay,
Thanks.
so you're welcome. So 6 plus 2 more 6s. 2 is 8. And 3 is 11. She, just in that same sort of scream of pain, you hear it, Suaris, just bubble up into rage. And just with this furious gnashing of teeth, she brings the mace straight down on top of the head of this molder spawn. It explodes. The head just bursts, and mucus and decay and rot just... It's like jelly. It just sticks and splats on everything. Some of it even gets on you. And she's just kind of... No, not in here. And she kind of lifts her shoulder up, the one that she's been wounded in, and you see it's healing from your magic. But she's now holding the mace with one hand, taking the bulk of the weight. Your action.
I'm just gonna take the halberd and slice at the one nearest me. That's a 15 to hit.
That hits.
With 9 damage.
Okay. Bonus action.
Sorry. 11 damage.
Okay. Was that an extra 11 damage from a bonus action? No bonus actions.
No.
Okay. Where you shove one back and she just pops the other thing's head up, like up and out and everywhere. You take half a swipe with the halberd. You cleave right through the chest, up along what would have been the clavicle bone, straight through it. And the creature just slides into pieces. where you tear the body or slice the body open, you see very, very rapidly, violently, and sickly these tiny white milky tendrils just erupting out of the corpse, out of the wounds, trying to knit themselves back together, trying to pull the body back. But the top half is too heavy and the tentacles snap. And the cries of pain don't come from the creature's mouth. They come from the tentacles. Yeah. And the two other molder spawns start to click. It's a lot louder. There's more clicking, and it's a lot harsher. And you hear something smash further beyond. What's that? What's coming? And the two creatures start to back away. You have an opportunity attack.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Heroism is still up, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay. She's also going to take it only because of that. Okay, that hits.
Well, I missed, so.
Okay. She swats at it as you kind of half lunge to stab. And where she hits hers, and you can see she smashes its hand against or what would be its hand against the wall of the cave. And behind you, you still hear these people barreling and clambering to try and get the rocks away from the mouth, but it seems to be of no effect at all whatsoever. Down at the bottom of the dark, you see hundreds of eyes glowing. And the clicking gets louder. And it becomes a scraping sound. And you can feel the walls around you shaking. The ground trembling. And the eyes growing larger. As the Grey Queen returns. Huge pustules of fungi hanging from the wounds on her body. Elongated tentacles crawling and twisting and snarling. It lunges towards the cave, and you just see those large mandibles, one broken and just jagged, open, and this sticky, milky yellow liquid just sort of drooling from its maw. And it barrels straight into you, the Earth Ganassi, the 11, and the tunnel. Okay. Give me a dex saving throw, Sewers.
5. Can I use my inspiration?
Yes, you can. I got a nat.
Yes,
4! Okay. You. Well, you still beat my nat 1.
Okay.
The woman beside you. You didn't get her name. You remember her from camp. And you know that she lost someone. She lost a sister, a friend, a wife. You don't, and the details they're just not coming to you. And that stillness, that calmness, that enlightenment, that little piece of you that was quiet and still, even in all of this, is now screaming. And as she goes to run, you just see an elongated, broken spider leg just come straight down on top of her, and she is crushed. There is a mashing of bone and a smothered cry of pain that is cut short. The creature is on top of you. Take 26 points of bludgeoning damage.
Oh,
You press, you struggle, you fight. It is on top of you, and you feel as if every part of you is going to just die. And there are cries and screams that are cut short. And you hear the mouth of the cave just explode outwards as rock and dirt and debris are sent spiraling up and out into the camp below. You can hear people shouting and screaming. Where are you at in terms of life points?
2.
Grace, as you make your way down, the energy in your body, you're barely conscious. Your eyes are on the camp and they're on the ground, the dirt beneath your feet, where your hand grips the rock, where you brace yourself, and you can feel the exhaustion coursing through you. And just in the distance, just out of the corner of your eye, you see an explosion on the edge of the mountains. And you see dirt and rocks catapulted. And the shouts and screams of men are drowned by the horrific and monstrous roar, shriek, and death rattle of something utterly ungodly. And you can see people running, you can see people panicking in the camp below. And for a split second, you are caught completely unaware. And behind you, Six, watching the same scene unfold, appears.
I'm kind of torn as to what to do because I'm like, well, Six could probably catch me at any moment, but I'm probably not much use down there. I'm just gonna keep hobbling. I'm gonna try and hobble, hobble and hobble and hobble down.
How far away am I?
There's barely 15 feet between the pair of you.
And how far away is the camp?
The camp is still probably about 8 or 10 minutes away.
I am going to cast Tasha's Caustic Brew at 2nd level. And it just flows from me in her path.
Are you casting it at Grace?
Yes.
Okay. Making a attack roll, or is it a dex save, or...
I think it's a dex save for her. Creature in line must succeed on dex save or be covered in acid for the spell's duration, or until a creature uses an action to scrape or wash the acid off itself. It's a 12.
That is a 17.
Fuck!
You, Grace, you feel magic, energy, hate bubbling behind you, and in that last moment you let go of your grip of the sapling you were holding to help you on your descent, and you just kind of half fall and tumble and roll as a spray of caustic acid just erupts from Six's hands and melts a boulder next to you.
She's gonna shout, "I know what you did."
Yes, because she attacked me first. I didn't know what was fucking happening. I had
Right.
hey, I know. I didn't like her. I didn't like her. She thought she was great. She really fucking wasn't. She was mean. She treated you like shit. But I didn't want to kill her. As far as I was concerned, we worked together. All of this shit is because of Reagan. And I just want to find her and gut her like a fish. But I can't do that like this. And now you want to kill me. Even though it's not my fault, she started this all. But I suppose you guys are in love or something. And it's a lot. It's a lot. And I think at the end of that, I'm gonna start like kind of like waving a little bit because I've expended a lot of energy that I did not have.
She's going to. The acid doesn't cause me any damage, right?
No.
So she's just going to march through it and grab Grace. You know when you embarrass your mom in a shop, but she can't give out to you, so she grabs you by the elbow. She's going to grab Grace like that, and she's going to say, "You're going to help me kill that bitch, and maybe I'll let you live." And shove her forward towards the camp.
And I'm gonna say, yes, but I need something to hold on to. Also, I'm not gonna get to camp.
Something to hold on to.
Yes, will you pass me my stick?
Does she have a stick?
She was
There was
holding
a
a sapling.
sapling.
She was holding a
Oh,
sapling.
sorry. I will kick it at her.
Thanks. And Grace is just going to like inside just take the biggest sigh of relief, like that would have been a one and done sort of fight. So okay, just get Reagan, get healthy.
Both of you hear screaming coming from the camp.
Oh God, what now?
I'm going to like try a hobble, but I keep stumbling because I'm actually torn up pretty bad.
Six is gonna roll her eyes and just be like, "Oh," and hook Grace around the waist and put her arm over her shoulder to try and support her. You better be fucking useful.
Grace is just gonna like stay quiet because I'm like, okay, this is such a weird position to be in. I don't like she wants to kill me, but she's letting me live so we can kill Reagan.
Eludia was very specific about the order.
I'm sure she was. I am very sure she was. What does it make you feel any better that she actually did quite a number on me before I got her back?
Actually, yes.
Well,
You
that's
look
what
horrendous.
I know. She's a fucking tough bitch. God, I hate her. But yes, it was interesting. It was a very enriching fight at the time.
Tell me about it.
When we get down here and I survive, I will tell you about it. When we kill Reagan together, I will tell you about it.
Okay.
Because believe me, I will remember that. That was like a nightmare.
Sounds wonderful.
It was haunting how fast she got me. I couldn't see her. Anyways, but I digress. I will tell you when we kill Reagan.
Six's heart is just like, oh, that's my girl.
And Grace is gonna feel kind of bad. She's like, it was so easy to manipulate her. It's like, wow, really just dangle some meat and she's there. But at the same time, I'm gonna be like, listen, if I survive to kill fucking Reagan and essentially give big fuck you to that grey lady, that is That's all right by me.
The screaming has stopped.
Oh,
Oh, did we miss it?
Are you heading towards?
I don't have the energy. I'm gonna head towards where the screaming was.
Yep, the screaming was coming from the camp, but as the two of you stood there trying to make certain of your allegiance or whatever it is between the pair of you right now in this moment, you heard in the background, in the distance, coming from the camp, screams and roars, calls to action, everything. And now it is horrifically quiet. You've never heard the camp quiet.
Can 6 kind of, because she's taken the most of Grace's weight, can she kind of just pull back so that like they both stop walking and be like,
Sorry, I had assumed neither of you had walked because you were
No.
henpecking
we
each other.
walking.
Okay.
We were walking.
we were
while
walking and
bargaining.
talking.
Okay.
So yeah, she's just gonna kind of slow their pace and be like, I think they're all dead.
Suarez is down there.
Oh no, Suarez is up there, and she's gonna point at the blasted rubble door. Reagan sent him up there because he was infected.
Wow, venomous fish.
Hey, that's offensive.
To who?
She just pulls some acid in her hand.
Okay. I don't know why she's after me, but I'm just tired of this. I'm just so tired of this. I did not want any of this. That's why I came here in the first place.
I just had a Buffy. I have a theory. No. 6 is going to recall. You mentioned the Grey Lady out loud, right?
I think I did in my rant, yeah.
She's going to recall the Grey Lady giving her the fucking bottle for you and be like, "Oh, here," and shove it at her. Compliments of your boss, not Reagan.
What is this? Would I know what this is?
You've never seen this bottle or this liquid before.
It's probably a health potion. I mean, you're no good to her dead, right?
But she's also sending people to kill me, like...
Oh yeah, the
Reagan.
venomous bitch.
Exactly. I don't know, she's pitting the two of us against each other, yet she controls both of us. I don't. It doesn't seem like a sound investment, you know? It does not sound like a sound investment. But oh, okay, whatever. What the hell? I'm going to take it anyway.
Oh.
You're drinking it?
As quick as I can. I'm trying not to taste anything, nothing marshmallowy, nothing. Just lugging it back.
Roll 10d4.
10d4. Oh, okay.
Why not 4d10?
Because it explicitly, I wrote down here 10d4.
Do you have 10d4?
You could just use a roller on, like if you have D&D Beyond open.
Oh, there seems to be a Spanish flea in here somewhere.
It is Lydia. I am talking to you from the void outside.
I wish I was dead. In another void.
23.
Okay, so recover 43 hit points.
Woo!
As you drink love's sweet eternal kiss.
I'm dead now. I'm dead.
I don't want to kill
For the
everybody, please.
next for the next 24 hours, any damage you do is amplified by 1d4 plus Constitution modifier damage, as the mournful screams of brides killed before their wedding nights echo around you, Grace.
Ooh, love that for you. What was it called?
Love Sweet Eternal Kiss.
Delicious. Should have drank that myself.
And give me a wisdom saving throw, Grace.
8. Oh, that's good. That was good. That was an 18.
As you drink the liquid, and it is cold. It is heavy. It has no taste until it hits your belly. And it tastes like rotten wine. It tastes like decayed flowers. It tastes like salt. And as this courses through you and you feel your wounds heal and your bones mend and strength return to you, your head spins as 1,000 women cry out. And where 6 stood for a moment, a woman walks towards you, wearing a long, flowing white gown. An ivory veil covers her face, and between her hands she holds a bouquet. And as she walks past, her hand just glances across your cheek. And when you turn to look at her, a dagger sticks out from her back. The trail of her dress stained blood red, and she vanishes, crying and weeping for the man who stole her heart. Six and Grace, as you make your way slowly and quietly towards the roost, you don't see anyone. You don't hear anyone. The fire is smouldering, and wisps of grey and white smoke just dribble up out of it as the last dying embers fade. The camp here at the Giant's Fingers has never been this empty. Never been this quiet. And as your eyes drift back and forth across the scene in front of you, the empty huts, the stillness, a fresh dust of snow begins to fall once more. And you see, or rather you hear, a rattle. Something moved a second ago. And your eyes dart towards the canteen. And stumbling awkwardly and painfully, you see a furbolg woman. A long, thick, white tentacle just snailing its way out of her eye, reaching and feeling for the air. And a chattering hiss screeches across the camp as the remaining miners and soldiers of the Blood and Oil Vulture Company have become infected. and all of them march up towards the hill. And sitting there, watching, waiting, both of you see the broken, rotting, bleeding form of the huge spider, the Grey Queen. Dozens of mushroom-like tentacles just whipping out of her corpse. And a dozen eyes look down between the gap in 2 huts and Six and Grace. You are watched. And we will leave part 1 of Cross My Heart there.
Ooh.
You're nasty.
So glad I'm dead.
Oh.
Have fun with that shit, guys. See you soon.
I am fucking legging it.
Oh,
God.
legging it with your feckin' stick. Oh no, you're all magic
Oh,
now.
no,
You're
I'm
magic
good.
potion.
fine.
Yeah, I just have to deal with some dead brides. I could do that. Yeah.
Drink their tears down, T. Choke them down. You'll be fine.
You know, nourish me.
Poor Gladys.
Gladys! Oh my goodness, we'll never make it to
No
the
wedding.
Another dead bride for Grace's collection.
Oh, grim. Grim. No
Oh my
more glue.
God.
I'll,
Silver linings. Silver linings.
I'll just very quickly make our goodbyes.
Oh, yes, yeah.
Yeah,
That
that
thing.
that thing we have to do. Thank you to everybody who joined us this evening. Thanks to everybody in chat for chiming in. Out of the corner of my eye, I could just see a crap ton of mushroom and fungi based puns. So
Thanks, Ben.
thanks for those, Ben.
I think Ben won that battle.
Yeah. You can have inspiration in the next episode of Homebrew Quest. You can, yeah, you can let the gang
Treat
know.
yourself.
Yeah, treat yourself. I've been joined this evening by Tendai as Grace, Eilish as Six, Amber as Sueris, and for the final time, Fiona as Eludia. I do.
Right, I know it's hard to say goodbye. I know. Just like
How do I cut her mic?
Please.
It has been an absolute pleasure, Fiona, getting to help tell Eludia's story.
And thank
I-
you for bringing her to life.
You're welcome.
Thanks for being a creepy thing.
Not at all. It's been an absolute blast. She's an absolute weirdo. This isn't for the record. This isn't Fiona's only stream. We are D8 Dungeon. We stream quite regularly. Coming up on Monday is the finale of season 2 or book 2 of Rise of the Forsaken, and you can catch Fiona and Eilish there as 2 other characters in that stream.
You are not allowed to kill Nolra because you already killed Eludia, so I get automatic immunity on Monday.
Rip Diara.
Yeah, you can kill Dyer, it's fine.
What about just my nails?
He just wants to get rid of me. Get rid of the bitch.
I believe there was mention of gifts earlier on. So sorry, our outro. We are D8 Dungeon. We are a group of Irish tabletop role-playing gamers, and we run several streams here on Twitch over the course of the month. Every second Monday, we have Rise of the Forsaken, although the book 2 finale is coming up, and we will be taking a little bit of time off because I need to sleep. And Saving Grace is back for our finale in 2 weeks' time, and we will return with another Grace Stormfield adventure. Expect equally as creepy and as gross and as messed up characters, I promise. But we will be taking a little bit of break from Grace Stormfield for a short time. Every second Friday, we release a podcast. Sorry, an award-nominated podcast now. We can say that. It's still stupid. But we release a podcast called Romancing the Dungeon every second Friday. An episode just dropped, but next Friday because we are also on a mid-season break. But we keep the content going. Next Friday, we have a special with the gang from the podcast, as well as a member of Arcavios Eternal, for a special called the Hen Night. So absolute shenanigans and chicanery and messery.
I'm just going to drop the link in chat. Hold on.
Uh-oh.
You can vote for Romancing the
I was just
Dungeon.
about to do that.
Oh, very nice.
As
Ah.
your listener's choice. Highly
Yeah.
recommend it.
Hype it up, hype it up.
There we are. Click on that.
Beautiful.
Vote for Romancing the Dungeon.
Very
And
nice.
if you make Declan happy, he will kill less of us.
Oh, that's
So
not how
vote
this
for
works.
Romancing the Dungeon.
That's not how this works. If we win, I'll TPK the party.
No!
All of the parties.
There'll be no parties. There's nothing.
Please
It's
take
podcast
for D8.
stream.
we
Done.
we
Hashtag.
no, but God, you fools! We go out on a bang.
Oh,
No.
You just remembered who you were talking to.
Yeah.
I'm praying for it. I'm praying for it, baby.
Just because you all pimped it out, I will tell you that Sam, who plays Nathaniel Obsidian McKnight, question mark. You have to listen to the most recent episode to find out what that's about. Has said that if we do win the Listener's Choice Award, he will get a tattoo of a greasy peanut.
It's true. I was there.
Yeah, so he said it, so it's true. So if we win Listener's Choice, he's getting a greasy peanut tattoo. We must make a graphic for that as well.
So do we get
On his greasy peanut.
delightful.
Um, we have some upcoming adventures planned. Keep an eye out on social media because we're going to be doing something a little bit different for the next one. I'm writing a sort of a thief's journey / heist for Romancing the Dungeon called The Stolen Crown, and we'll be looking to bring people on board with that for some new voices and some just for fun, just it was a fan-led adventure that led to this podcast, so we're going to keep that in mind, and we're going to be looking for people to join us. Yeah, so if you're interested in a short adventure podcast based in the world of Romancing the Dungeon, all around being sneaky sneaks and steals stuff, then you can. I would love. Yeah, Stealing Hearts. Yeah. That thing we do in that
There we
show.
go.
That's a theme, isn't it?
More information, do make sure you're following us at D8 Dungeon. Check out our Discord. I'll be posting information there over the next couple of days for that, because I'm looking to start recording that ASAP. And it will be a fun little hijinks / serious canon adventure set in the world of Romancing the Dungeon as well, about a whole heap of other characters. And that's it. Big thank you to everyone who was involved in the recent D8 Dungeon drive. I know we've said it at the end, and we said it on social media and stuff like that, but thank you so much. It was an absolute blast. I'm Declan. I've been your Dungeon Master, and I'll see you on Monday for Rise of the Forsaken.
Bye.
Oh,
We're gonna
Oh.
be great.
oh yeah.
Boom.
Rebellion.
Yeah.
Good night,
Bye,
everybody.
everybody.
Bye.
Night.